Hi, my name is Kip Rumans with Travis Industries. Today we're going to cover some frequently asked questions from the consumers in the field, just like yourself, regarding the GreenSmart 2 appliance.
How do I change my remote back to Fahrenheit?
It's real simple to change a remote back to Fahrenheit. Simply with the power off on the controller, press the mode and the thermostat button, and it'll go right back to Fahrenheit.
Is there a way to lock the remote in its current modes?
Yeah, there's a safety child lock feature on this remote that you press the mode and the up arrow at the same time, and that'll lock the whole unit out.
When might I need to resynchronize my remote, and how is that done?
Synchronizing your remote is usually only on the initial fire off on the unit. And the synchronizing the remote is real simple. Press the program button on the battery box underneath the unit, press the power button on the handheld itself or on the wall mount, and you'll be up and running.
Can certain modes be disabled on my remote system?
There are advanced applications on this remote that I can disable a light icon or a back flame icon. I can completely disable that and not have it available on the remote control, but you'll have to see your dealer for assistance on that.
If I press the on button on the remote, will my unit immediately come on?
A lot of the people expect a gas appliance when they hit the power button for it to immediately come on. Well, on an electronic device, it takes a few seconds for that pilot to initialize and then light, because the pilot hasn't been in the standing pilot position, and then for the burner to know that the unit has the pilot on, and then for the flames to come on. So that can take up to 60 seconds in total.
I see a red flashing light coming from inside the fireplace. What does this mean?
So if you see a red flashing light underneath your unit, and you'll see this because your room is a little bit darker than a retail showroom, you'll see a red flashing light behind the control panel. That red flashing light will indicate, if it's flashing once, that'll indicate low batteries.
What can cause my GreenSmart unit to lock out?
So the unit can be forced into a lockout if you simply turn the power button on and you don't wait for the spark to happen and the unit to come on, and then you turn the power off because you didn't think anything happened, and then you ask it to come on and come off again, come on and come off. You have to wait up to 60 seconds for your pilot to light and your burner to come on when you first ask your unit to turn on. If you don't wait, you'll force a lockout, and then you'll just have to turn power off and back on again, and it'll restart again. Remember, just be patient when you ask an electronic gas appliance to light for the first time.
Is there any way to eliminate condensation when I first start my unit?
You know, a commonly asked question is, how do I get rid of condensation on my glass in my gas appliance? And that's simply by turning your unit to continuous pilot. By doing that, you'll keep your glass warm and your unit preheated, and that'll eliminate a lot of the condensation that you get inside your appliance. When you're in IPI mode, your glass is cold, so every time that your pilot turns on and your unit turns on, you'll see a water vapor form on the glass, which is the coolest surface of the stove. And that glass then will have to dry, and that condensation will dry, leaving behind a little bit of residue. You won't notice it. It'll take about 6 months to a year to develop, but eventually you'll get a white coating on the inside of the glass, and that gets cleaned with a gas glass polish. Don't say that 5 times fast.
How do I use my fireplace when the power is out?
Your GreenSmart 2 appliance is fully independent during power outages, with the exception of the blower and the lights. They will not work without 110 power. So your handheld will still work, your wall mount will still work, I can still set the temperature of the room, I can still adjust my flames up or down, or set the temperature on the remote where I like it. It's a fully independent heat source when the power is out.
Can I change to a different face in the future if I change my interior decor?
Faces are interchangeable on GreenSmart inserts and fireplaces. Some faces might require modifications if you change from a square to an arch, so that might be a little bit more extensive, but for the most part, most of the faces are interchangeable or upgradable later on in the future.
What if I don't have power to the area my fireplace or insert will be installed? Can it run strictly off batteries?
We do not recommend you run without power to the unit, because the batteries will only last for about 3 weeks without any power to the unit. That means you're going to eat up a lot of batteries during the course of the year, so we always recommend the units are hooked up to 110 power and the batteries are there for backup.
My orange backlight won't work on my remote anymore. Should I contact my dealer?
You do not need to contact your dealer if your amber screen is no longer lighting up. that's an indication that you need to change your 3 AAA batteries in your handheld or your wall mount, and your amber screen will now light up.
Will I need to use the CPI mode in the colder months of the year?
Continuous pilot mode is definitely used in colder climates, and when you start getting below 45 degrees is when we recommend you turn on your continuous pilot for seamless operation of your GreenSmart appliance.
Is it easy to change from IPI to continuous pilot?
On the base GreenSmart unit without a handheld or wall-mounted remote, there's a switch underneath the unit that's manual that says intermittent pilot or continuous pilot. When you have a handheld or remote with the power off on that handheld, press the bottom mode button, and then you can toggle up or down between continuous pilot or intermittent pilot.
What happens if I press a button and no audible signal is heard?
If the remote doesn't send a signal or you don't hear a signal, sometimes it's pretty faint, you might not have heard it, but you can just simply ask it to do it again, give it the same command, and it'll hear the signal.
If an icon on the bottom of my screen is a silhouette but not filled in, what does this mean?
That means that icon is in use.
Can I make my GreenSmart 2 remote a one-touch operation?
Yes, when you set your GreenSmart remote up in smart mode and you have everything, you have your fan set where you like it, your lights set where you like it, your back burner on or off, simply the power on, power off button always has all your settings where you'd like it. You simply touch the power on and you no longer have to use this as a remote. You don't have to say, oh, I don't want another remote, I don't know how to operate this thing. Simply have it all set up, all your controls set up where you like it, and your installer can do that for you at the time of installation. So all you have to do is touch the power button on or the power button off. Makes it very easy to operate a GreenSmart product.
If my flame is on low when I turn the unit off, then back on, the flame comes on high. Is my remote not working properly?
No, your system is operating completely normally. The unit is designed to always come on a full high position for easy light up.
I've pressed my power button, waited 60 seconds, and my fireplace doesn't turn on. What could be wrong?
The first thing you'll have to do is make sure that the power is connected to the unit and you have fresh batteries. Then you can go ahead and power the unit off, leave it off for 30 seconds, and power back on. That'll clear any lockout code and the pilot will light and then the burner will come on. If the unit continues to go into the lockout mode, then you'll have to call their dealer for service. This is Kip Rumens with Travis Industries. Thank you for watching Commonly Asked Questions on the GreenSmart control system.